go into Josephus. Let them know chapter and verse where you are.
Yes, sir.
A little history here, pre-flood history.
Yes, sir. Antiquities of the Jews, book 1, verse number 60.
And do us a favor, folks. Hit that like button, please. Just a few more. Just hit the like button. Doesn't cost you anything to do so, okay? Please. We're about to go in. Help us out here. Just hit the like button real quick. All right, let's go.
And when Cain had traveled over many countries, he with his wife built a city named Nod, which is a place so called, and there he settled his abode.
He settled his abode, read.
Where also he had children. However, he did not accept of his punishment in order to amend it, but to increase his wickedness. For he only aimed to procure everything that was for his own bodily pleasure.
So he only did what? He only worked to procure things for his own bodily pleasure. Selfishness. What we would call today the American way on how to capitalize off of other people. See, that's what Cain was about. Folks, this system that we're talking about, we're living under now, that they can now progress through social engineering that's folding in of itself, is the same system that was set up under Cain. See? Set up under Cain. Read.
For he only aimed to procure everything that was for his own bodily pleasure.
It's about my house. It's about what I do. Just like you have people, sorcery, selling drugs, doing all types of evil things in the neighborhoods and say, well, listen, I got to eat. I got to take care of my house. I mean, if I didn't sell it, somebody else would be selling it. I didn't make them do this. Mm-hmm. That whole mentality came from the city of Cain. Well, don't you know if you do this, that one day it will be your son or daughter strung out on the same crap you're selling. Ain't no such thing as I'm doing this for my house. And now by the time your child raise up and grow up in that same neighborhood, now you got someone next door with your mentality that string your daughter out, your sons out. There's no such thing as doing something strictly for your house that won't affect generations to come, your own. Because it's being done within a vacuum. It's being done within just a community. It's not like these people are wandering off to go someplace else. So whatever you do in your community will come back in your community. See? And I'm going to show you why the Most High had to destroy the earth through a flood. Lawlessness that started with selfishness. Well, as long as my house is good, as long as my children are taken care of, it's all good. Well, guess what? Well, if it's just about your children and you got the have and have nots, guess what? The people that you're capitalizing off of will be a threat to you now because they're going to come to try to take what you have. If it's just about your house. And then the community or the world spiral out of control. That's what happens. If you got and others don't, for the sake of survival, the innate ability that all mankind has to survive will now come to do what? To create warfare. Because it's not about you making sure everyone has a little something. That spirit came from Cain. Tell me that's not the American way. And I'm going to show you why the laws of God is needed today. It was Cain that came up with this system. Read.
For he only aimed to procure everything that was for his own bodily pleasure.
For his own bodily pleasure.
Though it obliged him to be injurious to his neighbors.
It obliged him to become injurious to his neighbor. Now, why become injurious? If you can cause issues, then now you must come to him for security. You have to fear someone breaking into your home, or you have to fear someone doing this or harming your children. And by default, Cain being the head political position at that time under Satan will cause issues so that you would come back to him for the insurance. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, your house got broken into? Oh, don't worry about it. I got some guys who's working under my army. They can secure your home or your area for a certain amount of money per year. You want security? The mob way, folks, came from Cain. Causing injury, causing all that so that there will be a need for what? For safety, for protection from the same guy who caused the issues. See? Come on.
He augmented his household with substance and much wealth. By plunder and violence, he urged his followers to procure pleasures and spoils by robbery and became a great leader of men into wicked courses.
Go ahead, read that last piece again.
He augmented his household substance with much wealth by plunder and violence.
With much wealth by plunder and violence. This is how these nations we see today, that's right, these Western world nations, that's how they become so great. Through plundering and what?
And violence.
And violence. All of these countries were built on plundering and violence. And these are the same people today, after destroying and taking everything they've taken, are now claiming that they should be tough on crime. Every few years, they're talking about crime, jail, this, that, and the other. The greatest criminals. Read.
He augmented his household with much wealth by plunder and violence.
Come on.
He urged his followers to procure pleasures and spoils by robbery and became a great leader of men into wicked courses.
And became a great leader of men into wicked courses. What else did he do? Read.
He also introduced a change in that way of simplicity wherein men lived before, and was the author of measures and weights.
He was an author of measures and weight, putting a price on everything, products. Putting a price on everything. Instead of people freely growing and doing what they wanted to do, well, no. He would put a gate around things and say, through weights and measures, you give me this, you can get that. That's right, folks. He became the first, that's right, federal bureau. To put a price on everything, to control people. Right? That's right. He can create scarcity and also, that's right, jack up the prices through artificial scarcity. And now we got to do all this work to get something for a higher price, even though it's cheap. See? The money exchange system as we see today, that can be weaponized against citizens, the people of the world, was created during his time. The same way, out of nowhere, people were paying almost $7 a gallon for gas, for petrol in America. And then what happens? Once they realized it was going to affect the voting through midterms, all of a sudden, the prices go down overnight. Just a way to squeeze people, a political squeeze on the people without them knowing that's right. Governmental warfare is on the people. That's how they squeeze you. They go up in gas, and now the money you have that you work hard for, 2-3 jobs, isn't worth the same. And so now you have to go out and do other things. Plunder. Fever, compromise your own bodies, these women, just to make sure that they have gas in their car. And you don't see that it's a systematic working of numbers that they're doing on people to make it where what you have isn't doing what it used to do financially. They can pull the strings financially. Folks, everything I'm saying right now came from Cain. This is why the Most High destroyed the earth. He made the earth for us to be able to enjoy, and yet this guy come up with a system that you have to pay him to be happy. You have to pay him for security. You have to pay him to enjoy an earth where now everything in the earth that's produced really comes from nature. Rain comes, and guess what? Fruits, vegetables, all of those things, the Most High animals, the earth take care of itself. And all of us should be able to enjoy it equally. So I'm going to show you why the law is important today. Right? Because if you're living in a system where now you're forced to compromise your morality just to survive, you begin to forget God. And a matter of fact, some would even turn from God under such circumstances, suffering in an earth that we start programming ourselves to believe that God is allowing and God is behind it. See? When it wasn't meant this way, the systems were put in place to have us oppressed, and Satan knew with this certain system, we'd be so busy trying to survive, we would forget our position with our God. Life would be no more pleasing the Most High, doing what's right, being satisfied with just what we have, and enjoying family. Life would become what? Oppression, trying to survive. And now through these actions and how we view things, Satan would begin to use these same people as servants for him against what's right. The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that he used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy. You're invited.